Hi Tim, nice to see you
Howdy.
this morning. And
Good.
we're just going to run through a little bit of information about the change module in the job search package. And I know recently that you actually did make a pretty significant change, didn't you, from the kind of work that you were doing to where you are now. So can you just tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's been two major changes in my life. I've kept the same skill set, which is VAT, but I left the civil service about 20 years ago to go into private practice, which is one change. But the major change was 3 years ago when I left the accountancy firm and set up on my own, set up my own training and consultancy business.
And you've written a book.
And written a book about VAT and
I know.
property, which sends everybody to sleep.
It does, indeed.
Yeah.
It's a big achievement.
Oh,
So
yes.
it's about that big.
Yeah, and that was
I remember.
about the same time, yeah. So it was big, 2005, big changes.
So for you, what do you think encouraged you most in making a change? Because for most people, you can have an idea about what you want to do for quite a long time, but you actually just don't get around to doing it.
No, I think I was thinking about a year before I did make the change. There were a number of things. I think I'd reached as far as I was going to in an accountancy firm as a VAT consultant, and I wanted more than that. The travelling was also getting me down. I thought if I could work from home, that'd be great, free myself up for some time. And I thought I could not necessarily make more money, but have a better lifestyle. So it was a very difficult decision. I was very apprehensive and scared. But it's the best decision I ever made.
Yeah. And so I think you're absolutely right about sort of the apprehension and the scare, because for most of us, if you're moving out of your secure comfort zone, and particularly so if your job had been made redundant, whereas I mean yours was actually a proactive
Yeah, but I
choice,
can see
wasn't
it's
it?
the same thing actually.
Yeah. And so we all kind of sit there and we can go through this what if the other scenario, and
There's so many factors. I mean, the only thing really against change, I think, is you yourself, or
Yes.
me in my case.
Yeah.
Because I think you can do anything. There are reasons why you may not want to do it, or maybe you can't do it, but there are reasons or excuses. I think there's nothing to stop you, doing anything.
Yeah.
And there should be opportunities.
And of course, you actually made this change later on in your
Very
career, didn't
advanced
you?
years, exactly, yes. I was well into my 50s when I made it. So in some ways, I suppose, that was an easier decision because the family had left home.
Sure.
I didn't have that worry. But on the other hand, I was giving up a heck of a lot, security for a few more years, a fairly goodish salary, not knowing how it was going to turn out. So I think another thing is important to keep your partner or wife, husband, whatever, involved in what you're doing, because they're going to bear the brunt of it if it goes wrong.
Well,
And have a contingency plan.
Oh, that's true. And I think it's hard to, maybe sometimes harder to make a proactive choice than it is if your job is made redundant and you can say to yourself, well, I didn't have any other choice, can you?
Yeah,
So,
then you've got to do it, haven't you? You've got to go out and do it. I think it was hard, and I agonised about it for months, really. I started making plans to do it, but then thought, even down to the month before, am I really going to do this? But, it worked out well.
it has done.
It has worked out well.
And I think based on that, sort of with the change module within the job search programme, what I put together is certainly an explanation for people how change can impact on them, because often you don't know, do you, that what you're feeling is absolutely normal.
No, you don't.
And you think, oh gosh, no, it's just me, when it isn't. And also other strategies to help them deal with making a change. And at the end of the day, you can ask yourself questions over and over again, and in the end you just got to go and do it.
You don't get any answers from yourself. You can ask the questions, but there are no real easy answers. You just got to go and do it and look at it as an opportunity, and don't go back. That's what you're going to do. Do it.
Yeah.
I thought it was over, but it's not.